Welcome to a fresh episode of Weather or Not. We have your nature in the news stories, including volcanoes related to El Nino and fish falling from the sky. Andy has your weekend forecast, and Colby has a feature on pool use index. All of that and more coming up in just a bit. Weather or Not starts right now. Welcome to this week's episode of Weather or Not. I'm your host, Kristy Steward.
And I'm your forecaster, Andy Moffitt.
Well, Andy, we've been having some pretty dry weather here in State College recently. Are we looking to keep these dry conditions around?
Yes, we have been having a really long stretch of dry weather, a little bit of rain last Friday, but as we head towards this weekend, it does look like we'll get a few more showers into the area, so this dry spell looks to be coming to an end, at least for this weekend.
Well, I'm sure having some rain is going to be a good thing for us here in central Pennsylvania. Well, we'll have more on your forecast in a minute, but first, here's Nature in the News. Can you imagine walking outside and getting rained on by fish? Yeah, me either. Well, the people of Tampico, Mexico witnessed this unusual phenomenon last week. Residents reported several small fish accompanying a light rain. Experts believe a waterspout sucked up the fish, who then got tossed around in the atmosphere until they were finally released to the ground at a later time. Surprisingly enough, sea creatures falling from the sky have been reported as early as 1889. Some other recent cases include fish raining on a Welsh town in 2004, tadpoles trickling from the sky over Japan in 2009, and a downpour of 110 pounds of fish over Sri Lanka in 2014.
A new study shows that large volcanic eruptions in tropics have the potential to trigger El Nino events. Enormous eruptions can cause El Nino events by pumping millions of tons of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, which forms a sulfuric acid cloud, reflecting solar radiation and reducing the average global surface temperature. According to the study co-authored by Alan Robach, a distinguished professor of the Department of Environmental Sciences at Rutgers University, the study used sophisticated climate model simulations to show that El Nino tends to peak during the year after large volcanic eruptions, like the one at Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991. The study focused on the Mount Pinatubo eruption because it's the largest and best documented tropical eruption in the modern technology period, and ejected about 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Climate model simulations show that Pinatubo-like eruptions tend to shorten La Nina events and strengthen El Ninos. This leads to unusual warming during neutral periods, the study says.
AccuWeather celebrated 55 years of service last week. Headquartered right here in State College, AccuWeather invited over 300 guests to attend their celebration, including some of our very own Penn State meteorology undergraduate students. Joel Myers started AccuWeather in 1962 when he was just a graduate student here at Penn State. Before AccuWeather took off, Myers called over 25,000 prospective clients just to reach his desired goal of 100 clients to start. Now, AccuWeather serves over 2 billion people, and it is the largest source of weather forecasts in the world. Myers says AccuWeather's success comes from their dedication to accuracy combined with innovation and entrepreneurial corporate culture. Happy anniversary, AccuWeather.
Whitewater boating enthusiasts once again will converge on Bucks County's Tohickon Creek on November 4th and 5th, when the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources releases water from Lake Nakamixon into Tohickon Creek. Releases are historically scheduled on a semi-annual basis, usually occurring on the third weekend in March and the first weekend in November. The whitewater releases from Nakamixon State Park Dam provide suitable whitewater boating conditions downstream through Ralph Stover State Park from about 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Suggested hours for viewing the releases and boating activity are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Ralph Stover. Water releases are eagerly awaited by whitewater paddling enthusiasts, drawing skilled kayakers, canoeists, and occasionally rafters from throughout the northeastern United States. Most launch their craft at Ralph Stover State Park near Pipersville, Bucks County, and travel some 4 miles along the Tohickon Creek to its junction with the Delaware River at Point Pleasanton. DCNR officials remind boaters this is technical whitewater with Class 3 and 4 rapids that require boating skills. For more information, contact Nakamixon State Park or Delaware Canal State Park. And I'm back now with your central Pennsylvania forecast. But first, let's take a look at the overall pattern setup for this weekend. Here on Friday, the warm front stretching all the way over to a low pressure system off in the Midwest. And this low pressure system will bring showers to our area with this associated warm front. On Saturday, that warm front lifts to the north, leaving us with some clouds in the area, but really not so much precipitation. That low also lifting to the north, but keep an eye on this cold front, because as we head into the day on Sunday, this will be coming towards our area as that low heads off towards the north. So this is what's going to bring us another chance of showers on Sunday. Showers will extend all the way down towards the south and the west. So we do have a couple of days of showers here this weekend. On Friday, though, those showers not too heavy, more hit and miss. Temperatures warm, though, 74 degrees. Our average is in the mid-60s right now, so about 10 degrees above average and some isolated showers around the area, but nothing too intense. And then as we head into Friday night, those showers will be ending around the area, nothing too strong. As we head overnight, the skies will clear a little bit, 55 degrees for your low temperature, which is still warm seasonably. And then as we head into the day on Saturday, this will be the best day this weekend, 76 degrees, partly sunny skies. If you're going to do anything outside, do it on Saturday, as this will be a very nice day, just a few clouds in the sky. And then Sunday, even warmer, 77 degrees, but we will have showers returning, especially in the afternoon into the evening hours as that cold front approaches from the west. And now we're going to head over to a feature with Colby on pool usage in the fall.
The fall season is upon us here in State College, and typically we associate that with cool, crisp weather, football, and pumpkin-flavored everything. However, the weather pattern lately hasn't quite made us feel like the season has finally arrived on a regular basis, with some recent days having high temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. This weather makes some people feel like there's still time for one last beach day or even a dip in the pool. In fact, a group of meteorology students assist Bill Syret, a senior lecturer of meteorology at Penn State, in creating and regularly updating a pool use index throughout the United States for the company Leslie's Pool Supplies. This index helps to show the likelihood of people using their pools based on various weather conditions. I had the chance to talk to Paul Mikolajchuk, one of the Penn State meteorology students who helps Bill with his pool use index, on what goes into creating the index.
So in constructing a pool use index forecast, you have to look at many factors, one being precipitation, another one being cloud cover, wind, and temperature. And those four combined give a rough approximation as to what kind of pool use you'll be experiencing for a given time period. And of course, since we are going into the cold season, that is going to lead to a tendency for less pool use further north and more pool use further south, a typical distribution, whereas during the summer, most of the country is relevant in terms of the pool use conditions.
I also asked Paul how the unusually warm fall weather has impacted forecasting for the index.
This fall has allowed for more relevance for the northern tier compared to average. Some areas are still getting close to 80, which of course is unseasonably warm for October, and it is those borderline 80 conditions that are leading the pool use indices to be a little bit further north this autumn compared to normal, although of course climatology is becoming overwhelming at this point in terms of reduced pool use further north, and within a month probably this blue right here is going to be covering the entire northern tier.
It's no surprise that temperature abnormalities can make it hard to forecast for the pool use index, but what aspect of forecasting the fall is most difficult for Paul?
During the fall, there's a preponderance of tropical cyclones usually, compared to the middle of summer or spring. The middle of summer, tropical cyclone season is just getting started compared to the middle of fall, September, October in particular, where you have an active hurricane part of the season, and it is those tropical cyclones that can make pool forecasting challenging, especially if you have a lot of rain, wind, and cloud cover associated with these tropical cyclones. It can definitely throw a wrench into some of these long-range pool forecasts here, but it also makes it the most interesting because of the fact that there is a clear-cut disruptor to the potential pool use indices.
If you look online at ppg.met.psu.edu, you'll notice that much of the northeastern United States is currently in a moderate pool use index range, which is amazing considering we've just started October. But given the current temperature trends, especially for this upcoming weekend, that's not too much of a surprise. But since I don't have a pool to use, I think I'll get an early start on some Halloween candy and continuing to watch my Eagles soar. For Weather or Not, this is Colby McCabe.
And now for your extended forecast, but first let's take a quick look back at the weekend. On Friday, some showers, 74 degrees, 55 for your low. Saturday, partly sunny skies, 76, 60 degrees. Remember, Saturday, the best day to do anything outside if you plan on participating in outdoor activities this weekend. And then on Sunday, cold front coming into the area in the afternoon, evening hours. Showers returning to the area, but we will quickly get up to 77. So although Sunday is the warmest day, we do have some showers returning into the area. And we can see that cold front as we take a look at our extended forecast here. On Monday, temperatures just in the lower 70s. We do dip down towards average actually by Wednesday. We do have showers Monday through Wednesday, so we will be having a little bit of rain in the area, but then once we get to Thursday, we do look to dry up. Temperatures, though, we're done with this heat, it looks like, at least for the time being. Temperatures returning to average in the mid-60s, so that is the story here, that once we get past midweek, we will have temperatures back returning towards average, but we do have to deal with a little bit of rain to start the first extended forecast.
Well, it seems like we will be getting some rain showers throughout next week sometime.
Yeah, there is a chance of some rain showers, so don't put that umbrella away quite yet. And along with those rain showers, we'll be losing quite a lot of daylight as we head through the month of October here.
And speaking of losing daylight, we asked you earlier in the show, between the beginning and end of October, how much daylight does State College lose? Is it A, 45 minutes, B, 56 minutes, C, 68 minutes, or D, 77 minutes? If you guessed D, you are correct. By October 31st, the sun will rise in State College 32 minutes later than at the start of the month and will set 45 minutes earlier.
Wow, that's astonishing. And by Halloween, the sun will rise at 7:40 in the morning and set at 6:10 p.m. And on another note, daylight savings time is on November 5th this year, so do be prepared for that to set your clocks.
Wow, that is coming up pretty fast. I'm gonna miss some of that daylight time.
Yes, it's going away quickly.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time that we have here for this episode on Whether or Not. I've been your host, Kristy Steward.
And I am your forecaster, Andy Moffitt.
We'll see you next week.